This video is brought to you by the Deck of Many and their Big Bad Booklet series. Hello and welcome back to the Gallant Goblin. I'm Theo, and today we're taking a look at the Griffin Saddlebag. Now, this was a passion project that turned into a career for its creator, who's only known as Griffin as far as I can tell. They release a new free magic item and sometimes other content for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons every single day. You can find them on Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit. Look for the links down in the description below. They're also supported through Patreon, which is also linked below. But today we're going to take a look at the first 2 volumes of magic item cards that the Griffin Saddlebag released in partnership with the Deck of Many. These here were kindly sent to us by our sponsor, the Deck of Many. And we'll also preview the currently running Griffin Saddlebag Kickstarter, running now through April 11th, 2020. Each deck contains 50 tarot-sized cards, each featuring a different magic item. There's also a thank you card and a reference card to help you quickly sort through the items by rarity. Here's the card list for Volume 1. Let me give you a few examples of some of my favorites from this set. First, we have an item that I would definitely use in real life, the Heart of the Sleeveless. It's a vest that's made from luxurious silky material that seems to always make the wearer appear more fit. The clothing gently hugs the wearer, redistributing weight and muscle to flatter and accentuate their physique. It seems to deflate sadly once you take it off. But while it's worn, the vest color changes with the wearer's mood. For example, it turns red if the wearer is angry, yellow if they're joyful, lime if they're in love or feeling love, purple if disgusted, and white if they're surprised. Here's our next one. The Chromo Cloth is a multi-use item. It can be one of 4 colors, and you can change the color with an action. Each color is associated with a different damage type: red for fire, yellow for lightning, green for poison, and blue for cold. You can wear it, perhaps as like a headband, to gain resistance to that damage type associated with its current color once a day. Or you can fashion it as a sling, and any bits of stone or whatever you hurl with it deals damage matching the damage type of its current color. Finally, Love's Embrace is a fascinating legendary weapon. It's a great sword made of 2 long scimitars held together by magic. It can be attuned by a creature, in which case it becomes a +1 weapon, or it can be attuned by 2 creatures at the same time, in which case it becomes a +2 weapon. Speaking the command word can separate it into 2 blades, or bring it back together as 1. You can also speak the command word to summon it into your hand. The scimitars can also be thrown. One scimitar is bonded to the element of fire and the other to ice, and they each deal their respective types of extra damage each time they hit, or both types of damage if they're combined into one sword. Finally, each attuned creature can cast Fire Shield once a day at 4th level without spending a spell slot. There are 47 other magic items that are just as creative as those. Volume 2 includes 50 more cards. You can see that list here. It includes first of all, Candle of Anti-Light that casts magical darkness instead of light. Pomade of 10,000 Styles that lets you change the appearance of your hair. A pair of tiny violin rings that play a sad song when you rub them together. A hasty sugar bomb candy that increases your speed for an hour. Just don't eat too many. And a comfy pair of socks that lets you recover an extra hit die upon finishing a long rest. And those are just the silly items. Several of the items in this set are quite complex and intricate, with enough text for them to split the item over 2 cards. So let's take a look at one of those items now. Here we have the Tectonic Gauntlets, a wondrous item and artifact that requires attunement. They imbue the wearer's fists with the power of the elemental plane of Earth. They make your unarmed strikes magical, and now they deal 1d8 damage, unless you already deal more than that. They also have 15 charges, which will replenish over time. You can use up to 5 charges to extend the length of your reach by 5 feet for each charge spent. You can also deal double damage to structures and objects. You can spend up to 3 charges to deal an extra 1d8 per hit for each charge you spend. And this can also knock your opponent back. They also grant you the power of geomancy. You can spend various amounts of charges to cast spells like Earthquake, Move Earth, Shatter, Spike Growth, or Wall of Stone. You can also use an action to have the rocks envelop your whole body, granting you resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. But your movement is halved, and you have disadvantage on dex checks and saves. You can also burrow through the ground while enveloped in this way. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, here's the catch. These gauntlets also have a curse. Once you put them on, you can't take them off again, and your mind and body become sluggish. Your movement speed is reduced by 5 feet, and your intelligence score is reduced by 4 to a minimum of 7. They also have one random minor beneficial and detrimental property. So the items in this set run the gamut from silly to deadly, but they're all thematic, fun, and creative. Each of these decks is available on the Deck of Minis web store for about $22 or both for $40. They're high quality, beautiful cards with a nice linen finish. Volumes 3 and 4 of the cards are currently being printed and are on their way to the store, hopefully in the near future. Backing the Griffin Saddlebags Patreon gives you access to all the older items, plus various ways of searching for exactly what you're looking for. They offer print-ready options at certain tiers if you want to make your own cards at home. Now let's talk about the ongoing Kickstarter. They're turning the Griffin Saddlebag into a 200-plus page book, which will be a compendium of every item from the Saddlebag's first year. This won't just be 365 illustrated items like these cards, but also 12 new character subclasses, 2 new settings, and an evil villain. They're all 5e compatible, of course. The book will have detailed item tables to help you find what you need. They're also producing volumes 5, 6, and 7 of the Deck of Mini cards, so you'll have access to the cards for every item in the book. Now, for you math gurus out there, you may have noticed that there are still 15 items left over, 365. Well, Volume 7 will have 65 cards instead of 50. On the Kickstarter, you can back at the $20 level for a PDF version of the book, at the $40 level to get the hardcover book, $80 for the deluxe version of the book, and at $100 for the book and 4 packs of cards. For $135, you get the same set, but the deluxe version of the book. You can also add on additional card packs for $20 each at whatever level you choose. Every backer also receives access to their new online search tool, which promises to help you find just the item you're looking for quickly and easily. At the time of this recording, they're still adding stretch goals and creative content to the Kickstarter, so if you're interested, you can use the link in the video description down below to check it out. The Griffin Saddlebag has a little something for everyone. If you want cool, free items every day, be sure to follow them on your social media site of choice. Instagram seems to be their primary delivery platform, though. If you want to support them, be sure to check out their Patreon to get easy access for older items and search tools. And check out the Deck of Mini web store for nicely produced reference card versions of the items like this, and their new Kickstarter if you prefer your items in a book format, or if you want easy or early access to the new cards. Thanks to the Deck of Mini for sending us these 2 decks and for sponsoring this video. They have their own Patreon where you can get new reference cards sent to you each month. They also have a new creation called the Big Bad Booklet, where they create a new monster or villain to add to your ongoing 5e campaigns. The booklet is about 10 pages long and offers a backstory, plot hooks, abilities, and stats for that month's Big Bad. For March, we have Miss Speckleback, a monstrous frog creature who lays and then often eats magical eggs of various sorts. Cross her path and she's likely to eat you too. If you visit the Deck of Minis web store, they currently have one of their previous Big Bad booklets available digitally for free, so you can see what it's all about. That Big Bad is Gollythink, a disgruntled gnomish toy maker who commands an army of terrifying toys. This was a Christmas time release, I think. Learn more and subscribe today at bigbadbooklet.com. Thank you for watching today. If you enjoyed the video, you can click the little thumbs up button down below, subscribe to get all our videos in your feed, and click the little bell icon to be notified when we drop new videos. You can also check us out at gallantgoblin.com for the latest tabletop RPG and mini news. And I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.